Today we're taking a look at these NCAAF matches, which are happening on Friday, September 30th, 2022, and giving you our parlay picks, match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. By becoming a member of the High Stakes Patreon, you will have access to our best team picks, total picks, parlay picks and much more. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting predictions that ends up costing you a lot of time and money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Going back to our video, we will give you 2 betting picks for each game, a team pick and a total pick based on facts and detailed explanation. So make sure to watch our videos till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Our first parlay pick is Tulane vs Houston. Houston minus 2.5 points. The Houston Cougars, 2-2, host the Tulane Green Wave, 3-1 on Friday night. Tulane has opened up with a strong start after a disappointing 2021 season. Their schedule has been softer, but a road victory at Kansas State is something to take seriously. In that game, both teams went for 336 total yards, and Tulane overcame 2 interceptions to get the 17-10 win. Houston has opened with a disappointing 2-2 start in a season where expectations were high. Still, Houston has every opportunity to win the Ox still, and they know that in this key Friday night tilt. Tulane has some good weapons in their quick hit offense, most notably tailback Tyjae Spears. Spears went for 114 yards and 2 scores on the ground, plus another 74 in the air last week in a 27-24 loss to Southern Miss. Quarterback Michael Pratt is an effective dual-threat player, throwing for 247 yards and adding 58 on the ground last week on 16 carries. Still, the Tulane offense has not been great this season, and the Houston defense is where the Cougars hang their hat. Houston has 2 losses, but they are both to Big 12 teams that are far better than anyone expected in Kansas and Texas Tech. The 2 teams projected at the bottom of the conference are suddenly lurking in the top 25 conversation. Houston is allowing more yards than they expected this season, especially in the air. But the offense has started to find a better rhythm of late, and Tulane should not present much of a roadblock. Houston is still the better team, and this line just seems way too low to me. Take Houston to cover. Our second parlay pick is Texas San Antonio vs Middle Tennessee. UTSA minus 4 points. In what could be the biggest letdown spot of the week, Middle Tennessee is a team I'm looking to fade on Friday. The Blue Raiders just knocked off Miami on the road as 3-touchdown underdogs and now return home for a date with UTSA. This is almost the perfect scenario for the Roadrunners to start Conference USA play and presents a great sell-high spot for their opponent. The non-conference slate was rife with difficult opposition for UTSA, and it presented them with a brutal 3-game stretch. Even though Middle Tennessee's offense is humming, the Blue Raiders still don't stand on the talent level of Texas or Houston, and their offense isn't as hard to prepare for as a team like Army. Furthermore, UTSA's 2-2 record is a bit deceiving, considering the Roadrunners lost in overtime to Houston and finished that game with a post-game win expectancy of over 90%. Now, Frank Harris and company should relax against a now overvalued team in this spot. Middle Tennessee improved to 3-1 following its 45-31 upset victory over the Miami Hurricanes on Saturday. Middle Tennessee gained 507 yards of total offense while holding Miami to 367 yards of total offense and forcing the Hurricanes into turning the ball over 3 times. Middle Tennessee's Zaylen Wood has a 15-yard pick 6 in the first quarter. Quarterback Chase Cunningham passed for 408 yards with 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. Quarterback Chase Cunningham has passed for 1,000 yards with 7 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. The leading rusher is Frank Peasant with 292 yards and 6 touchdowns, while the leading receiver is Jalen Lane with 231 yards and 1 touchdown reception. On defense, safety Teldrick Ross is the leading tackler with 34. Middle Tennessee has 16 quarterback sacks and 6 interceptions. UTSA's offense is averaging more yards per play than the Blue Raiders, and the Roadrunners have also been far more efficient on third downs, converting at nearly a 59% clip. On paper, Middle Tennessee's defense has been serviceable, allowing 5 yards per play this season. However, the Blue Raiders' stats are likely inflated from taking on Colorado State and FCS Tennessee State. UTSA has been an excellent road team under Jeff Traylor, posting a 13-5 ATS record in its last 18 road games. The Roadrunners are also 7-3 against a number in their last 10 conference games. I like UTSA at anything under a touchdown here. Our third parlay pick is UCLA Bruins vs Washington Huskies. Washington minus 3.5 points. The Washington Huskies have started the season with a perfect 4-0 record and find themselves ranked in the top 15 of the AP poll. Much to the chagrin of Indiana fans, head coach Kalen DeBoer and quarterback Michael Penix Jr. seem to be picking up right where they left off in Bloomington, as the Huskies have been quite good offensively. Penix leads the country in passing yards and has thrown just one interception, while the Huskies' offense as a whole ranks 5th in total offense and 12th in scoring offense through 4 games. Washington quarterback Michael Penix Jr. has passed for 1,388 yards with 12 touchdowns and only 1 interception. Wayne Tolapapa is the leading rusher for Washington with 307 yards and 3 touchdowns, while the leading receiver is Jalen McMillan with 367 yards and 3 touchdown receptions. On defense, quarterback Mishael Powell is the leading tackler with 24. Washington has 13 quarterback sacks and 2 interceptions. The 4-0 Bruins have a good offense in their own right, with dual-threat quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson at the helm. In fact, the Bruins are averaging over 40 points and 500 yards per game. UCLA has solid defensive numbers as well, holding FBS opponents to 4.0 yards per play, 9th, and 290 yards per game, 15th, but I am not sold on this UCLA defense being a true threat for a couple of reasons. First, the Bruins' defensive line has been riddled with injuries to key players such as Martin Andrus, Gary Smith III, and now Jay Toya. Secondly, UCLA benefited from one of the easiest, if not the easiest non-conference schedule in the country before starting conference play with Colorado, the lowest-rated Power 5 team through 4 weeks. The Bruins' strongest opponent was South Alabama, whom the Bruins only beat by 1 point at home in Week 3. UCLA improved to 4-0 overall and 1-0 on Pac-12 play following a 45-17 victory over the Colorado Buffaloes on Saturday. UCLA gained 515 yards of total offense and held Colorado to 309 yards of total offense and forced 2 Buffaloes turnovers. UCLA quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson passed for 234 yards with 2 touchdowns, and running back Zach Charbonnet rushed for 104 yards and 3 touchdowns. UCLA quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson has passed for 196 yards with 8 touchdowns and 1 interception. The leading rusher is Zach Charbonnet with 293 yards and 4 touchdowns, while the leading receiver is Jake Bobo with 221 yards and 1 touchdown reception. On defense, quarterback Mo Oseling III is the leading tackler with 25. UCLA has 7 quarterback sacks and 3 interceptions. While this is Washington's first game away from home, the Rose Bowl has not been much of a home field advantage for the Bruins. The average attendance through 3 UCLA home games is just 30,105, roughly 1/3 the Rose Bowl capacity. Maybe UCLA fans will show up for a conference home game against a ranked opponent, but in any case, this does not appear to be a daunting road test for the Huskies. Take Washington.